At some point in your life, I'm sure you've envied that popular guy who you don't exactly know what he does, but he's just magnetic, attracts people, attracts women, and everyone wants to be around him. If you don't know exactly what he does, it's because he doesn't make any effort for it. He just has a captivating and magnetic personality. Today, my dude, I'm gonna teach you exactly how to be a magnetic and popular guy without having to make any effort. Charisma is something that can't be explained, you just feel it. How many times have you seen a really charismatic guy? He walks into a room, people already look at him and want to talk to him, but you don't exactly know what he's got, what he does. Let me tell you, charisma is not tied to any special skill, but rather a combination of things, like his communication style, that makes him more popular than most. But what exactly does he do to have that magnetic aura? I don't know, it's not an exact formula. There are different types of charisma, and it varies from person to person. I don't know if you've noticed, but when you try to be popular, you just can't be. Because in your head, you try to imitate those guys, talk a lot, try to make jokes, but it never sounds natural. It always comes across as kind of robotic. People notice it, and you don't connect as much. Why does that happen? Because the guy who is popular doesn't try to be popular. The guy who is charismatic and magnetic doesn't make an effort to be that way. He just is. That's the big problem with most guys who try to do this or try to imitate. People's attention is wired to read patterns of behavior. They can see when you're trying something forcefully, and it creates the opposite effect. It's pretty crazy, but let me tell you a quick story. When I started studying, I was always a funny guy, making jokes all the time. Understand that this was my special skill. I was skinny, had my head in the books, so I didn't have a lot of physical attributes that worked in my favor. But during school, college, I didn't have much going for me. So what did I do? I used humor a lot. Often I would say something at the right moment and everyone would laugh. Naturally, people liked being around me because I was laid back. I made them laugh. So, one day, in the same classroom as me, there was this dude who always tried to make the same jokes as me and get the same attention. But man, his attempts felt forced and just weren't funny. It got me thinking about the difference between being authentic and acting fake. Being authentic doesn't mean you have to be funny all the time, but rather being true to yourself. It's when you show who you really are, without masks or pretenses. Society often creates hierarchies, but when you're genuine, people are more receptive because their defenses come down. By expressing your true perspective on yourself, people have a more authentic perception of who you are, whether it's positive or negative. The way people see you can influence where you're placed in the social hierarchy. If you're considered at the bottom, when you try to climb up, you may face resistance and be knocked down again. That's why it's important for it to be a natural process, without forcing comments or behaviors that don't fit the context. Gradually, by gaining people's trust and building your personality, you can change that perception. It's important to express yourself without fear of speaking up, showing emotions, and using body language to your advantage. You don't need to force friendships or try to be funny, but letting your thoughts flow authentically can help you connect better with others in social interactions. One way to do that is to start small, without forcing comments or creating artificial situations. It's important to find the right moment and naturally include yourself, as if you're climbing a social ladder. If you're considered shy, less funny, or more excluded, people may see you through that lens. The secret is to take it step by step, gaining people's trust, making appropriate comments, building positive attributes, and letting your personality flow. Often, shy people tend to hold themselves back too much, not speaking their mind or expressing themselves out of fear of being judged. But those who are more popular and outgoing usually speak fluently, without fear of sharing their thoughts or making jokes. That's why it's important to let go of the shame, stop walking on eggshells, and gradually change your mindset and way of communicating, expressing yourself more freely. Hey guys, so yeah, don't be afraid to express yourself with your body and face too, 'cause body language is a big part of communication. Popular people usually get better understood than those who are shy and closed off with their bodies or facial expressions. You gotta understand people more and make them understand you too, without forcing jokes, group dances, or fake friendships. The idea is to let your thoughts flow naturally in social interactions. Just let your thoughts flow naturally, without being held back by that voice in your head that stops them from coming out. Don't let that voice hold you back from expressing your thoughts or making comments. Let them flow through you. Be at the top of the pyramid, because people don't pay attention when you don't speak up. When you start sharing your worldview and your true self, people start respecting you more. Those who are naturally charismatic, meaning those who show who they really are without fear, are respected. Back in my school or college days, that's how I acted, and I was always seen as more popular than others who tried to force a behavior and didn't succeed. Popular people are used to being authentic and acting naturally, without fear of pleasing or not pleasing others. That's the key to effortless popularity, speaking up and sharing your worldview without fear of not pleasing everyone. Don't be afraid to express what's on your mind, be funny to yourself. Don't hold back, because when you limit yourself, that's how people see you. Value your words, your worldview, and your unique way of being. Don't try to imitate anyone, let your authenticity speak for itself, gradually and without seeming force. Don't try to force friendships or please everyone publicly. Communicate with your feet, body, face. Let your thoughts flow without being overly careful, because the fear of not pleasing can make you seem forced. Understand that. So, folks, that's it. Hope you guys liked the tips on how to express yourself and be more authentic without fear of not pleasing others. Remember, it's important to let your thoughts flow without worrying too much about pleasing everyone. After all, the way you see yourself is how others will see you too. Value your worldview, your authenticity, and don't try to imitate anyone. The key to becoming more popular and respected is being yourself, without fear of expressing your opinions and ideas. Gradually, you'll realize that people will respect you more when they see that you're genuine and not forcing yourself to be something you're not. So, go ahead and let your authenticity speak for itself. Don't be afraid to express your thoughts, express yourself with your body and face, without worrying about pleasing everyone all the time. And remember, true friendship isn't forced, it's based on authenticity. Hope these tips were helpful for you guys. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and share. And if you want more tips on becoming the best version of yourself, subscribe to our channel Your Best Version. Until next time, folks.